What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It is 6:47 p.m. And I think we're just about to get sorry guys, hammered by giant storms. Yeah, I think within like the hour it's supposed to get pretty nasty, but we'll see. Welcome to the stream, guys. A lot to talk about today. What'd you guys think of the Mandalorian panel? I thought that was probably my favorite panel in terms of entertainment. In terms of an entertaining panel, one that the hosts were great. Obviously, Filoni and Favreau were up there, and the cast was awesome. A lot of energy, a lot of like, just like you. I mean, they're fans. You could tell that first things first, they're fans, right? And you totally got that vibe from that panel. It was almost like these brilliant, creative minds who just are like fans of Star Wars who just happen to be like brilliant creative minds and storytellers making a thing. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I saw the sizzle reel. You know, obviously people recorded it on their phones, so they had to know it would quote unquote leak. I don't know why they blacked it out for us streamers. It was a little strange to me, but yeah. Trevor Kelly, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream. I greatly appreciate that, man. I hope you didn't watch the Clone Wars panel. Lots and lots of spoilers. LMAO. But if you couldn't restrain yourself, I wouldn't be able to. What do you think? No, I did not watch the Clone Wars panel. I'm sure people are going to wonder why. It's because I'm not done with the Clone Wars. I still have a good chunk of episodes to finish until I'm done. I'm watching it in chronological order, and I'm almost done with the Night Sister Witches arc. So yeah, I didn't want to like I think I pretty much know exactly what happens, other than minor details and whatnot. But I kind of wanted to resist watching the panel in order to, yeah, just try to stay as spoiler free as possible. Dude, I do not look at my Clone War video comment sections. I never look at those video the comment sections of those videos, because I guarantee everything would just be spoiled. But yeah, no, that's one thing that I could resist. You know, if it's anything else, I don't know if I'd be able to. And the only reason, you know, I could resist it was because I wanted to kind of keep a little bit of the surprise and mystery alive, you know. Don't exactly want to know beat for beat what happens before I watch the thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, I appreciate that, Trevor. Hope you're doing well. I think the Mandalorian had the best panel. B Barnes, I agree. I thought that panel, in terms of banter and just overall fun and energy, and you know, Favreau and Filoni are just almost like naturals on that stage, more so than some of the people that they got to host certain panels. And they're fans, you know, and you totally got that from them. Obviously, but it was a fun panel, and the Mandalorian looks awesome. It looks like kind of exactly what I've been wanting from Star Wars for a very long time. A man with no name kind of, you know, kind of vibe. The dollar films from Clint Eastwood, those westerns. So yeah, I'm curious if like the Mandalorian will ever take his helmet off. Is that something that they showed or not? I don't know, but I kind of have a feeling like nobody will ever know his real name. People will just call him the Mandalorian, just because, you know. What's another good example? Like somebody. Doesn't somebody, the Englishman, something, I can't remember. There's other examples like that in certain movies and shows and whatnot, where a character doesn't go by a name, they go by like their where they come from, basically. I don't know. J Money 0796, what's up, man? Good to see you. As always, hello Greedo. I'm so hyped for the Rise of Skywalker. Good, yeah, me too, man. It took me, well, the title is it a little wonky? Yeah, I would say it's a little wonky. It's just it's different. It's probably the most different title outside of maybe the Phantom Menace that we've had in Star Wars. And I think it's just very, very. I think the reason it feels a little wonky is because it's just new, and also we have a name or a title within a title. You know what I mean? Skywalker. So it feels a little. Obviously, I think it'll grow on everybody. But, I mean, were you guys around when the Phantom Menace title was announced? That was fun. But I'm pumped too, J-Money. A lot of mystery in that trailer, which is, you know, what I'm always, as I'm watching it right now. It's weird to see Carrie Fisher. It's just crazy. Yeah, a lot of mystery, man. A lot of mystery. But I appreciate that, J Money. I wish they shown us the Mandalorian reel, Luke Wilson. Yeah, you could watch it. You know, people recorded it inside of the panel and posted it. But I thought it was pretty silly that they blacked it out for streaming. The streaming audience. I don't really get that. Yeah, I don't really understand why that was done. Yeah, I legitimately have no idea why. No idea why. But yeah. Why do you think they're going to look for the Death Star? Blue Rain 01. You know, David Bizik, a viewer of the channel, brought up kind of an interesting point. He said that maybe they're not going to the Death Star specifically for this, but they stumble upon this, and that would be like evidence, some kind of maybe security camera evidence or something, of Vader throwing Palpatine down the chamber, and what they stumble across is evidence to show Kylo Ren that, hey, you know, your granddad, you think he's this you think he's one way, but he was actually another. Some kind of proof that, you know, Kylo following his grandfather's way isn't exactly the way his grandfather ended up. Does that make sense? I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. I don't know if that'll be the case. I don't think they'll go searching for that, but I mean, you never know. It's just kind of an interesting concept if that would be the case. But yeah. Retrieving kyber crystals. There you go, Justin. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't think, you know, the films never get into that much detail with that. The kyber crystal thing, yes, it's been that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. There's almost like the films that are always very simple, and then the non-film materials where they get a little like kyber crystal-y, and, you know, the Darth Vader comics talking about blood, and that's why the lightsabers are red. There's details and stuff like that most of the time the films don't even pay attention to. You know what I mean? The films kind of treat themselves as more I don't know, adventure than any kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Oh man, I didn't watch the Clone Wars trailer. I avoided the panel. I'm maybe like 25% left of the Clone Wars before I'm done with it. I think I've made it that far. But yeah. Glorious Eugene, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Rebels may help you understand Palp in 9. I saw somebody said that to me on Twitter. You know, eventually I'll go back to watching Rebels. I watched the first season. I'm gonna finish Rebels when I finish the Clone Wars. Well, I'm gonna finish the Clone Wars, and then I'll watch New Clone Wars, and then I will finish Rebels. You know, Yeah, yeah. I'm not. I can't even comment on that because I was about to say like, I don't know if there's enough context within the films to explain Palp. You know what I mean? Like, how do I put this? Not everyone digests and pays attention to everything Star Wars. Does that make sense? So the films are usually geared towards people that have just seen the films. The vast majority of Star Wars fans that go to see the movies, they go to see the movies, and they don't really kind of ingest any other Star Wars material. That is without a doubt the vast majority of Star Wars fans. So I don't know if they would pull like large-scale plot points from a show and implement them into a movie. Does that make sense? Maybe concepts. Maybe they could pull some stuff like that. But yeah, I wish I would have finished Rebels as it was airing, because I only watched the first season. Then about a year and a half ago or so, maybe about a year and a half ago, I started watching the Clone Wars, and I've just been kind of slowly going through that. But yeah, glorious. Eventually, I will go back to Rebels and give it a little watch. Oh yeah. A Geek Talk Society. I'm a film analyst. Love that bit in your video. Yeah, it is kind of funny to me, man. Just the amount of people that it's very strange. It's very strange to me. I don't know. How do I put this without coming off as an asshole? Everybody's an expert, right? Everybody thinks themselves to be some, like, grand film analyst. Film theorist. And I'm just sitting back behind my keyboard going, You're making fucking slideshow videos on fucking YouTube. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But hey, do your thing, right? Yeah, that was completely a completely unscripted moment when I was talking into my microphone. Geek Talk Society. That was completely unscripted. I just went, I'm a film analyst, like some kind of sarcastic shithead. I love it. But I appreciate it, Geek Talk. And CCon 1001. Never saw my last super chat get taken out of my account. So might as well double it. Really? That's interesting. I don't know. See, I don't know when they usually come out. I've never paid attention. Do they come out immediately? Or do they come out at the end of the month, CCon? That's a really interesting question. Either way, I appreciate the hell out of the super chat and then parenthesis S, just in case it's not just singular. But I appreciate the shit out of that, CCon. Thank you so much for supporting the channel tonight, man. I appreciate that. Let's see, after months, no, let's see. They come out immediately? Okay, okay, interesting. Okay. Okay. Nice. I wish YouTube would allow PayPal. I think I use PayPal primarily for everything on the internet. For everything, except for Amazon and YouTube. Except for Amazon and YouTube. Two of the biggest things on the planet. Nope. Nope. But I appreciate that, CCon. Original Trilogy Daily, thank you so much, man. Hey, Greedo, in The Rise of Skywalker, how would you feel about Reylo taking place in the film? I'm going to Google Reylo. I need a good definition. I've looked it up multiple times. But let's see. Characters of romantic pair. Okay, that's exactly how I interpreted it. But, anything's possible. I thought that was a relatively plausible outcome during the Last Jedi. You know, you have these two characters, And I don't pay attention to the fandom in this sense. I guess a lot of people are like, Reylo, I want Reylo, I don't want Reylo. For whatever reason, it's a point of contention in the fan base. I don't fucking get. How do these like little hills and valleys within the fandom peak and dip? I don't understand. I don't get it. But apparently, no matter what you say, you're gonna have people jumping down your throat. But I could totally see how that would have happened in The Last Jedi if things ended up a little different. You know, you have these two characters who are kind of lost. They don't really have teachers. They've both had teachers that failed them. They're kind of mentorless, and they're kind of alone, right? They're trying to find their way in the galaxy, and they have very similar kind of, I don't know, they're kind of like, yeah, they're alone together. They're basically alone together. And that connection that they have is interesting. And they're the only two people that, you know, can kind of relate to one another in the story. And I thought it was possible. It was a possibility in The Last Jedi. But now I think that's off. I think Kylo Ren is going to go down with the ship. I think he's going to crash and burn. I don't think there's going to be a redemption story in there for him. You know, I'm not saying that I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying that I want it to happen. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing like the silly shits that are guessing all over the internet, me included. But that's just my guess. I wouldn't care either way, to tell you the truth, original trilogy daily. As long as the story's fun, as long as it makes sense, as long as it doesn't feel ham-fisted and forced. If that is an outcome, sure, I'd be fine. Do I think that's going to be the outcome? No, I don't. But yeah. But I appreciate that original trilogy. AIM... Name is Eric. Wait, what? Oh, hi. Oh, hi, my name is Eric. Sorry, dude, I'm 32. Oh, hi, my name is Eric. Knowing that these movies are being made... Wait, let me see. Knowing that these movies are being made up as they go, does that cheapen the Palpatine reveal? It's hard to believe JJ knew he was coming back in 2015. The whole make it up as they go thing is I feel like that's just kind of like a thing that people started to say, and then it spiraled into this narrative. It's like a narrative that's popped up. No, they've had story beats. I mean, like, you can look at the making of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. They've had story beats. They had story beats for The Last Jedi while they were writing The Force Awakens. You know, it's obviously you make certain details up as you go, right? That's the nature of filmmaking. But I would say that this sequel trilogy is probably as planned out as the original trilogy was. I fucking love how people just assume that George Lucas had the entire original trilogy planned out like a T from A to B to Z and so on and so on. No, not at all. Not at all. It's hilarious. Yeah, they probably had certain story points, but then all of a sudden Leia becomes a twin sister. No. These things were were just as piecemeal together occasionally. Yes, they had story points, but that's kind of how, I guess, making a trilogy goes, right? It's very fucking interesting to me, man, how these narratives pop up. And all you got to do is look at art books and making of books, and in this there's concept art from these art books as well, to just go, oh, a lot of people on YouTube are just making shit up to fit, you know, their own little worldview over there. It's weird, man. It's super weird. Yeah, like Luke said. Luke just said this. There's concept art from The Force Awakens. Where Rey is searching for the map in the Death Star under the ocean. These ideas have been thought of. Oh, that is a weird looking sounding robot. I could, Anxious Contrarian, I wish I could understand that robot. Sorry, I need to fix that robot. I changed the robot's voice, and I thought I fixed the echo. But, yeah. Anyway, hi, my name is Eric. I appreciate the support. I would not... I don't know. Unless it comes from, like, an official channel, official making of, or anything like that, most people are making some shit up on the internet. I don't know. I don't know. Do I think he knew coming back in 15? No, not necessarily. You know, sometimes things ebb and flow and change. And, you know, maybe... he consulted with George Lucas, apparently. And, you know, maybe something changed, which is fine. You know, when you're making 3 films, details and big beats, you know, they're allowed to change. But I find it really interesting that that's the narrative around these 3 films. When that's the narrative, I mean, the original trilogy could be said the same thing. The prequel trilogy said for the same thing. I mean, you don't even have to look for Star Wars, or at Star Wars rather, for that similar thing. It's a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about stuff. I love it. The Dark Lord Sauron. Thank you so much for the Super Chat and channel support, man. Hello there. Hello there right back to you. I appreciate that. Memes. Oh, once again, Dark Lord Sauron. Little emoji there. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I'll consider that a silent support. How about that? What is your, Oh, that's literally... Is that Sauron? I was leaning in. Yeah, it is. Okay. I was leaning in, trying to figure out what the hell your avatar was. And I was like, oh. Because I thought... What was Sauron's head? I thought that was negative space. So I thought what I was looking at was like a hole and then stuff. Does that make sense? I thought the stuff around it was the physical stuff and the negative space was his head. So I was looking at like a donut almost. It's kind of small on my screen. I'm a film analyst. I appreciate it, Dark Lord. And Eric Koch. Snoke tells Kylo in The Force Awakens the book that Vader killed Palps and that... Oh, really? That Vader... Okay, let me read this again. Snoke tells Kylo in The Force Awakens that Vader killed Palpatine and that it was a moment of weakness or something. So Ben is aware of what happened. Oh, interesting. I wonder if the novelizations... Well, I'm sure that is... Okay, that makes complete sense then. I wasn't aware of that. I'm curious if the novelizations will ever dictate story beats in the future, but one would assume that the whole concept of going to the Death Star, finding some kind of evidence of Vader killing Palp and trying to change Kylo's ways, you're following the shitty version of your grandpa Kylo, would be thrown out the window. So I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, Eric Koch. I've never read a novelization of a Star Wars movie. I've never, and I guess the same could be said. I've never read a book that was based off of a movie that was based off of a book before or after watching the movie. Does that make sense? How do I word that? I've never watched a movie and then read the book that it was based on. I've never done it that opposite way. You know what I mean? And that's how I would have to do it here, because I wouldn't want to read it before I experienced it in the theater, you know. But I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I'm sure there's a lot of little minor details and, and conversations and stuff like that, that would, be really interesting to kind of compare and kind of add a little depth to the films, you know. Oh, man. The Anxious Contrarian. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. The title Rise of Skywalker to me works well with Kylo Ren, since he is a Skywalker, and looks to be rebuilding his power again. Something that rhymes thematically with Anakin's rise as Darth Vader. Yeah, anything's possible, Contrarian. Well, I don't know if you saw one of my recent videos. I don't think the term Skywalker is necessarily referring to an individual, but more of a, I don't know, a mentality, a feeling, a title. Does that make sense? I talked about it quite a bit in my video, but I mean, that could be. I just have a feeling Kylo Ren is gonna be an asshole until somebody rams a lightsaber through his goddamn head. But we'll see. We'll see. The Rise of Skywalker. Potentially. It would be a little odd to call The Rise of Skywalker and then it'd be about Kylo, who is a Solo. And I get it, he's got the Skywalker blood, but he, you know, I don't know. But we'll see. I just don't think The Rise of Skywalker necessarily is talking about individuals, you know. And as I said in my video, I think, you know, Rey will be a Skywalker by decision, by choice. To choose to be like a Skywalker. Lineage be damned. Happenstance of birth, who cares? I'm going to choose. I'm going to decide for myself. I'm a Skywalker. Do you know what I mean? I fit that mold. I choose to be in the balance. I choose to not hide from the emotions like, you know, like the Jedi always kind of adhered to. I don't know. Does that make sense? Sometimes I don't know if my thoughts make sense when they come out of my mouth. Well, I made a video a couple days ago about it, Anxious Contrarian, if you haven't checked it out. But, we'll see. We'll see. There's a huge rumor about Anakin appearing as a ghost, but Hayden and Sebastian Shaw's faces being used together. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see Anakin as a ghost, but I definitely wouldn't trust any rumor at all. Ever, ever, ever. Yeah, it makes total sense. Rey will literally walk on the sky, and she will be deemed the Skywalker. There you go. Everything is super literal. Everything is super literal. Yep, the official title in Brazilian Portuguese is... that means Skywalker Ascension. Interesting. I'm a Phil Battlist. I think the Rise of Skywalker is referring to Anakin Force Ghost. I don't think it's going to be as literal as that. I mean, maybe, you know, but I think The Last Jedi referred to kind of the old ways dying. You know, that title. That technically is The Last Jedi. And Rey will be something that's more balanced. Will be a Skywalker. You know what I mean? I think it's going to become Jedi, light side. Sith, dark side. Skywalker, balance. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Takes to know games. What are your thoughts on Palpatine being a clone? Let me take a quick sip of water real quick. Alright. Palpatine being a clone. Honestly, I think if they really did that, I think I would, man, I honestly think I would roll my eyes. That has never appealed to me. That's always felt incredibly just unimaginative. It's always felt really goofy. The Emperor has thousands of clones, or an endless number of clones, where he can kind of transport his consciousness and be immortal. I mean, you know, when characters are gods, I just kind of like, all right, okay. I don't know. That story, that Dark Empire, Palpatine clone thing has never once appealed to me. Never once appealed to me. the idea of bringing characters back for the sake of what, fan appeasement. I mean, if it makes sense in the story, sure, but for the most part, I've always seen like bringing characters back as just kind of like, I don't know, just unimaginative in my opinion, you know. But I don't know. I hope that's not the case, Takes to Know Games. I hope that's not the case. Oh.
During a stream on January 30th, if you think what is now the Rise of Skywalker
Is that, did that really, wow. I told you I don't know shit. I need to fix that echo. God damn it, I thought I fixed it when I changed the voice. Ryan Harp, thank you so much. Max Harrison, thank you so much. And Sauron, thank you so much. Alright guys, give me one sec. Alright, Max Harrison, hope is Hux want to resurrect Palps to usurp Kylo. You think Hux wants to resurrect Palp to overthrow Kylo? I would not, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think anything, if anything happens to Hux, I think it's gonna be Kylo just killing him because he's getting in his way. That's kind of how I envisioned Hux's demise, not being killed by the enemy, but being killed by Kylo because Hux, he has no real powers. He's just he's in the ranks, sure, but he's almost like an annoying fly on Kylo Ren's collar, buzzing around. I think that would be a pretty great way for Hux to go down. Just Kylo just having one of his tantrums and just ending it, But maybe. I just can't imagine that being the case, Max. I think it would, I don't know, it seems as though the Death Star wreckage and the whole Palpatine narrative and all that kind of stuff is something that maybe they're gonna not necessarily stumble upon, but it's gonna be a lesser known thing than we all probably think it is. Because for us, right, these legends, these characters, Luke Skywalker, Ray thought Luke Skywalker was a myth. Internally in the stories, I find that interesting. These characters that we deem super important, these events, inside the stories, people are just living, and they might not have known these events and these people ever truly existed. And I find that fascinating because it's like that around the globe, even with our own small world. I'm sure I don't know jack shit about most other countries' history. Imagine an entire galaxy. I don't know. Dark Lord Sauron, favorite Sith Lord? Vader, man. Vader. I'm an original trilogy fanboy asshole. I'm an original trilogy fanboy asshole, Sauron. So that's basically all I have to say about that. I just, he's probably my all-time favorite film villain. He just grew up watching him and his stoicness and all that. He's just movie icon, right? Just movie icon. So, without a doubt. Ryan Harp, during a stream on January 30th, 2018, I asked you if you think what is now the Rise of Skywalker's title will be blue. You said no. You're wrong. You owe me death sticks. Love the trailer, can't wait. Did I really say that? Interesting. I don't know why, I mean, what made you, let me see. Let's see. Clone Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I mean, blue has been used. I just did not expect, for whatever reason, I just didn't expect it. I figured it would just be, yellow. It would be YOLO. But I apologize, Ryan Harp, for getting everything wrong, for ruining the movie. I'll get you some death sticks next time. But I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you liked the trailer, too. I thought it was probably, out of all the trailers that we've had thus far in the sequel trilogy, the one that packed the most punch when it comes to teasing and mystery, you know, and just setting the stage and making you go, what in the hell is even gonna happen here? There's just so much imagery in there, audio, that, you know, I just want to know what adventure they're gonna go on. But yeah, my favorite teaser trailer is still the very, 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 very first, the Force Awakens teaser. Just because it was like new, and it, you know, we had none of us had any idea what this movie was going to look like, and that was our first glimpse into what it was going to look like. It's kind of crazy. Caretaker Wanted, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Hey Greedo, how's it going? I watched ESB critic review video, and it was interesting seeing this Star Wars is ruined narrative even back in 1980. Yeah, I really enjoy, and look, I do this a lot. It's not just for videos. Occasionally I'll go back and look for like critic reviews of The Phantom Menace in '99. I did that a couple weeks ago. And I've done this for years, just out of curiosity, ping-ponging back and forth between movies and looking up critic reviews and fan reactions when they exist and when they're accessible, you know? Luckily, a lot of stuff still existed in '99, or a lot of internet forums and all sorts of stuff in 1999 exists, so I love going back and reading that kind of stuff. And it's never dawned on me, Caretaker, to make a video about it. But now I'm going to make a video about all of the movies and the critic and fan reactions, because I never really knew that other people were also interested in that as I am. I thought it was just my own little quirk that I found really fascinating, going back in time and reading people's reactions in the moment. But people seem to like it. So I think I'm going to turn it into a series. I think it's, you know, be a fun series to do. But yeah. I appreciate that, Caretaker. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's very there was a lot more I could have added to the video too, but I just picked a few, and maybe I'll do multiple parts to multiple movies. But yeah, we shall see. Dun 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 dun. Catherine Alvarez, TLJ from China. I watched a really interesting video about Star Wars in China, and how for decades, I mean forever, they did not allow Western films into the country. And it was only until, I believe, the 90s when they started letting Western world films into, and they only allowed 10 a year. So that culture did not grow up with Star Wars. They never knew what it was. And the prequels came out, and they did not do good at all. And Star Wars just has never done well in China, because it's you know, for the longest time, it never had... nobody ever knew what it was. It's just kind of interesting. And it's really fascinating that the video that I watched, I believe it was from... It was like, it was actually a news story. It wasn't just a YouTuber. It was like a news station's kind of talking to some... What was the title? His title. Not an economist. He was some... I can't remember. It was just really interesting. Really interesting. But yeah. Rich W3. Could be reasonable for Palpatine to have survived his fall somehow. Maul, Obi-Wan, and Luke all survived similar falls. I know, Rich. I know in Star Wars that there is a rich history of character resurrections or surviving crazy stuff. But honestly, if it was... Honestly, if what happened was that Palpatine was thrown down the shaft and survived his fall and lived on the Death Star for 30 years, just twiddling his thumbs, waiting for the right time, I think my eyes would roll out of my goddamn sockets. I think that would be so silly and feel so goofy. I mean, what, you open up the Death Star and whoa, the bad guy's there. Like, he's been waiting for you for 30 years. I just think that's too dumb. I just think it's too silly. I don't know. I just can't imagine that. That's so silly to me. I just cannot imagine them doing that. But you never know. You never know. All right. Just, sorry guys, I just had to report somebody. Actually, I had a screenshot of it on that. I do not take that fucking shit lightly. There we go. All right, there we go. All right. Sorry for the delay, my friends. Where was I? But I appreciate that, Rich. Yeah, I just think it's too silly. But I could be wrong. Sugarfat, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Skippy the droid is pulling the strings behind the scenes. Open your eyes, sheeple. Why can't you see it's all about Skippy the droid? Oh, Skippy. Oh, Skippy. Oh, Skippy. You're a force-sensitive droid, Skippy. What's a really cool idea that we can do? What about a Jedi droid? That sounds pretty neat. Oh, I like that. I like that lots. Droids could have lightsabers and they could roll around. You know, it's force-sensitive droid. Skippy is Snoke. Confirmed. There you go, Fabio. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, I did see that video, Luke. I was laughing my ass off. Hilarious. But I appreciate that, Sugarfat. Chad Hensey. Hensey. You're the only YouTuber I'm listening to analyze a trailer because you're more of a realist. Others tend to be more speculatory and random. Well, yeah, I think that's just me being... Well, I guess you said a realist. I think I was going to say that's me being a little more realistic. I've listened to a lot of other kind of theories or what people think are going to happen. And for the most part, they do not sound like Star Wars movies. They sound like Star Wars comics. They sound like Star Wars episodes and arcs of the Clone Wars. And by that, I mean the films. The movies are usually pretty grounded. Usually pretty simple, right? It's not until we get to the comics where things... or the Clone Wars, where sometimes you have stories and long, detailed explanations or kind of outlandish explanations that you wouldn't expect to be told in the films. Because the films are grounded. And I've found that a lot of people are coming up with really wild and outlandish theories for what's going to happen or what they think Palpatine's going to be doing or all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I get it. People, you know, can speculate all they want, but I am extremely reserved in thinking anything like what a lot of those people are thinking is going to happen. Curb that. I don't know. I don't know. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You know, sometimes there's just crazy outlandish theories where there's so many pieces to the puzzle and it's so convoluted, and that's not what Star Wars is. Star Wars is not super convoluted connections and floating ghosts all around and consciousness and blah, 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 zipping all. It's Star Wars films are pretty simple. I don't know. People get a little too out there, but yeah. But I appreciate that, Chad. I appreciate the kind words, man. Takes two, no games. Are you annoyed that Kylo isn't letting the past die? No, he's dude. He's one of my favorite. I want him to just like be an asshole until he's in the ground. I want Kylo. I like Kylo as a villain. I think he's one of my man. He's one of the more interesting villains we've had in the Star Wars saga for sure. There's a lot of depth to him. His parents were both a little neglectful. He had a master that kind of failed him. He was manipulated, and I just find him to be a really, really interesting character. So no, I don't want him to be good guy Kylo. I don't want him to let the past die. I want him to just I want him to just want to bring everything down. Kylo Ren is the most fun when we get to see just Adam Driver fighting face and pissed off face. But yeah, I love it. But I appreciate that. Text to no games. And Dark Lord Sauron, one last donation. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the support tonight, Lord Sauron. Thank you so much. Let me take a quick sip. All right. I agree with that, Lucas. I think I wholeheartedly agree with that. Original Trilogy Daily, thank you so much, man. Will you be watching the Phantom Menace panel tomorrow? Yes, actually, what time does it come on? Phantom Menace panel. Nope, that's not it. That was, what's her name? Ashley.
Well, I'm Ashley Eckstein.
Ashley Eckstein, there we go. 11 a.m. Okay, so noon my time. Noon my time. Nice, okay. Yeah, I should be able to watch it. I think I'll be able to have everything done that I want to get done before then. Yeah, I'll watch it for sure. I'm looking forward to it too, you know. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little surreal because 20 years, man. 20-year panel. 20 years ago, I was 12. Turning 13. I can't remember exactly. I think I was 13. The movie came out either 2 days before or 2 days after my birthday. I can't remember which it was. So I was either 12 or 13. Basically 13. And it's just so hard for me to wrap my head around that it's been that long. It feels like a different life. It feels just like a completely different existence, you know? 20 years. And time is moving even faster now that I'm older. I mean, like, my daughter turns 1. She's a couple days from being 1. And it's just insane. She's already 1 year old. It doesn't, I mean, I feel like it was yesterday. Literally yesterday we brought her home from the hospital. It doesn't make sense. Does not make sense, man. Does not make sense. Does not make sense. But I appreciate that original trilogy. And thank you for reminding me. I actually completely forgot. Completely forgot. Eric Koch, thank you so much. Ben misreads Vader's messages to finish what he started in TFA. It's actually ending Palpatine for good. They, from a certain point of view, the line. Oh, I see what you're saying. Huge fan of your stuff. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. That's an interesting perspective, man. Ben misreads Vader's messages to finish what he started in TFA. It's actually ending Palpatine for good. That's kind of an interesting perspective from a certain point of view, as you put it. Now, I don't necessarily think Ben will see that. I don't think he will come around to the ending Palpatine for good point of view, as you say. I don't think he's going to kind of come out of his... I don't know. I don't think he'll come out of his, whatever you want to call it, tantrum, anger, hatred. I think he's going to crash and burn. But that's kind of a really interesting, I don't know, almost like a metaphor. I don't know. That's a really interesting look at the messages and the misinterpretations of the messages. I dig it. But I appreciate the kind words as well, man. I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around what you said and think of a good way to talk about it, even. It's actually finish what he started is actually ending Palpatine for good. I don't know, that's an interesting way to look at it. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, 6 Foot Piss Radius, thank you so much, man. Can you please come on Discord after the stream? Thanks. It's actually Game of Thrones night. I gotta hop off here and immediately sign up for HBO Go, cancel Netflix, and pop some popcorn. I know I missed. Did I miss last week? I'm all turned around. Did I miss last week? Let me look at the calendar. Monday night, tomorrow night. No question about it. 6 Foot, I have nothing going on other than a stream on Monday night. And I will 100% be on probably around like 7:45 after a stream. I will be there. I will be there. I think I missed last week, right? Was I supposed to hop on with you at like a Thursday or something like that? Yeah, tomorrow night for sure, 6 Foot. I will be there. I will be there. But I appreciate that support, man. I wish, yeah. I'm pretty excited for Game of Thrones. Do you watch Game of Thrones, 6 Foot? If you do, you should go pop some popcorn and get ready. Larry Banks. Ray did a flip. Yeah. It's more of like, oh, it's coming up right here. Let's watch it together. Let's watch it together. Here it comes. Here we go. Here we go. La la la. I forgot this opening is a lot longer than I expected. Here we go. Yeah, that's badass. What is that called? There's like a leap. It's almost like a barrel roll kind of thing where you're rolling your body. It's pretty badass. I'm curious what that scene's gonna be, Larry. I don't know if it's almost like a training thing, or I don't know. I'm so curious how that scene comes into existence in the movie, you know? Why are supposedly Kylo and Rey in the desert, one-on-one, like that? I'm curious where that comes into play. You know, I don't even know if, you know, she isn't attacking the ship. Yeah, I know she's not, but I'm just curious how it's going to come into play, you know? I don't know. It is not Kylo. Well, that's what I was thinking, that it's not Kylo and that it was some kind of training thing and she's just doing, for whatever reason, backflips and it's a training thing. Who knows? But, alright. We'll see. I don't want to wildly speculate, but yeah. And Wheat Boy, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I appreciate the hell out of that silent support tonight. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. But, alright. Have you already checked this tweet? What tweet? Alright guys, I gotta get going. I have to hop off and sign up for HBO and cancel Netflix. And pop some popcorn and get ready for Game of Thrones. I've been like dragging ass all day, man. It was my wife's me and my wife's 5-year anniversary over the weekend, and we're out late last night. If you were following me on Twitter, I chronicled our night. I think we went to 7 different bars and got a really nice dinner at a local French restaurant, and had an absolute ball, and we both drank way too much, and we Ubered Wendy's to the house, and it was late, and we, at the end of the night, it was like 12:30 at night, and we were watching SNL, eating Wendy's in bed, after having like 7 beers each. It was fun, man. It was a good night. My parents watched my daughter. She spent the night with them, so this was the first time we'd had a night out in about a year like that. It was pretty fun. But all right, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. I will be hopefully uploading. Yeah, I will be uploading 2 videos tomorrow. A Mandalorian panel first thoughts. I literally did not write a script for that video. I just hopped on my microphone and started talking. And it's already recorded. And another video tomorrow will be my thoughts on the Jedi Fallen Order trailer. So yeah. All right, guys. As always, thank you for tuning in. Let me run down the list. Wheat Boy, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Larry Banks, thank you for the super chat and channel support. 6 Foot Piss Radius, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And I will see you tomorrow, 100%, no question. Eric Koch, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Original Trilogy Daily, thank you for the super chat and channel support. The Dark Lord Sauron, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Takes to No Games, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Chad Hensey, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Sugarfett, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Rich W3, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Caretaker Wanted, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Ryan Harp, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Max Harrison, thank you for the super chat and channel support. The Anxious Contrarian, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Oh, hi, my name is Eric, thank you for the super chat and channel support. CCon1001, thank you for the super chat and channel support. The Geek Talk Society, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Glorious Eugene, thank you for the super chat and channel support. JMoney0796, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And Trevor Kelly, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Alright, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Another stream, a couple videos. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you next time I see you. Alright. Have a good night. Enjoy Game of Thrones if you watch it. And I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.